afternoon. This is Laura with your CNN News Update. Conflict spreads in the Middle East today as Israel declares war on Egypt. Israel placed troops in the Sinai as an act of self-defense. They say that the Egyptian attack was unprovoked.
Has made air attacks on Israel, which are considered acts of war. Our airmen have fought back, and there is currently a battle going on.
Egypt points to Israeli aggression of the Palestinian people as a source of this conflict. Egypt has closed the Straits of Tiran as Israel mobilizes its forces.
We would just like to express our firm stance that, attacks like this on the Jewish world are not going to be tolerated.
Israel is contemplating a ceasefire, but it does not seem likely at this time. Egypt says that they will not end hostilities until the Palestinian people are free from Israeli oppression. The world waits with bated breath as this war develops. In other international news, the United States intends to set a maximum price on wheat, which would negatively impact the Russian agricultural sector. The U.S. proposal would make wheat farming unprofitable for Russia. Since Russia is a leader in wheat exports, this would crush their markets. The U.S. refuses to comment further about these maximums. The U.S. proposal does little to ease hostilities between the two nations. This has been Laura Foote with CNN News.
Hi, I'm Melissa Chua. I'm the producer of CNN, and with me here today is Khuans, and he is our simulations director. So Suhail, what was your favorite part of simulations this year at CIMUN?
Oh, there's so much going on. The delegates are so engaged that the simulation is almost writing itself. You've got the Six-Day War, all kinds of intrigue and intelligence going on there. You've got the USS Liberty incident that occurred and the way that they reacted to that. The summit that they're putting together for this morning. In the present day, you've got a simulation that's almost entirely driven by delegate decisions, which is what we are proud of here at CIMUN, and I'm glad that not only are we able to do it with all delegate decisions, but we're able to do it, and I think that this conference has run smoothly. Most of the simulations run smoothly. There hasn't been hiccups, even though we didn't necessarily come up with the entire simulation ourselves.
And I'm sure you're going to carry that success on over to next year. What do you have in store?
Well, that's what I'm here to talk about is next year. Next year we have a couple of things. In the present day, we'll be featuring several committees, as of course we'll be featuring the main three bodies of the United Nations, the GA, the ECOSOC, and the Security Council. We'll be featuring as always, our cabinets, and we'll also be featuring the Organization of American States, which is a committee that has never been done at CIMUN before. So we feel like that's going to be a great addition. In the historical is a simulation that has been long in the planning. For a long time, CIMUN staff have been wanting to do this simulation. We're going to be featuring 1989, the Cold War, and I believe I've brought a piece we can cut to for that.
All right, take a look.
Die Deutsche Demokratische Republik an der Westgrenze der sozialistischen Länder in Europa als Wellenbrecher gegen Neonazismus und Chauvinismus wehrt. Wie die Sowjetunion uns befreit hat, wird die Deutsche Demokratische Republik im Jahr 2000 die Schwelle mit der Gewissheit überschreiten, dass nur dem Sozialismus die Zukunft gehört.
Несколько поколений советских людей трудились, чтобы превратить нашу советскую родину в супердержаву. И вдруг в один прекрасный день мы просыпаемся и видим, что радостно улыбающийся товарищ Горбачев ведет нашу страну в пропасть.
Are you going to leave these children, these women, these defenseless people for a murderous dictator to have more scenes like that and the West do nothing effective? Is that our policy? It's not worthy of Europe, it's not worthy of the West, it's not worthy of the United States.
America and the world will not be blackmailed by this ruthless policy.
Well, Suhail, that was such a compelling video. Now, what is the most exciting part of next year's simulations?
Well, if I had to pick the most exciting part, I'd say that, well, first of all, is our wildcard committees, which will be next year, so we won't know until September exactly what committee will be in the wildcard, as well as the wildcard cabinet. That'll be dependent on events next year. But I'm very excited about the 1989 simulation, which you just saw. We'll be featuring the HGA, the Historical Security Council, U.S. and Soviet cabinets, as well as East and West German cabinets, as well as the Warsaw Pact and NATO. So it's a very full historical simulation. There'll be a lot of competition for Germany and NATO and Warsaw Pact countries and in 1989, so there's a lot of them. But you know, the only way to make sure that your school gets a good country for next year is to make sure that your faculty advisor registers for the country lottery at 10 o'clock this morning.
Alright, well, thank you, Suhail. Make sure you get out there to the country lottery tonight or today at 10 a.m.
We're number one. We're number one.
This is Laura Foote with your CNN Evening News. The United States has begun to implement attacks on North Korea, but they don't intend to occupy North Korean sovereign territory. The U.S. denies any knowledge of civilian casualties. The U.S. is currently conducting talks with Russia and China to reach a plan of action. The U.S. press officials say that they will continue to conduct airstrikes on active military bases until diplomatic relations between North and South Korea resume. In developing news concerning United States drone attacks, the United States says these attacks on insurgents are a part of its counterinsurgency policy. The U.S. maintains drone airstrikes are necessary to secure the Pakistan-Afghanistan border. This has been Laura with your CNN Evening News.
Right, this is Jordan McBride reporting live for CNN. I managed to get inside a weapons facility in North Korea here, and it doesn't look like they appreciate me being here thus far, but I've managed not to get discovered. From the information that I've uncovered, it looks as if possibly...
Oh, hello, I'm Nicollette Khuans for CNN Daily News, and this is your political forecast. Things are looking a little stormy on the Chinese front. China's responded to North Korea's threat of war by further mobilizing its People's Liberation Army in the North Korean territory. The region shaded in red here are territories that are occupied by PLA troops, and boy are things heating up. In response, a cadre of North Korean generals have attempted to seize the Yongbun Special Weapons Facility, which is right over here in that exclamation point. Eek. However, reports remain cloudy as to whether or not these attempts have proved successful. Sources from within the facility have made no attempt to supply further information, and the United States has responded by mobilizing ground forces from the North-South Korean borders. If the storm continues to brew, we're predicting a high-pressure system moving into the north. President Sarkozy of France has called for a G20 emergency meeting regarding the recent developments. Please stay tuned for more information and bring an umbrella. It could get bloody out there. This has been Nicollette Khuans for CNN.
This is Jordan McBride for CNN with your evening news. So far, 28 are dead on the USS Liberty in an attack led by Israel. Freelance documentary journalist Terry Evans is on the ship now.
Hi, we're out here. It's about 4:30 in the morning. We're on the USS Liberty shooting a documentary.
Gotta die!
I don't know what you're saying. No, I don't know what you're saying. I'm trying to film. I do not know what you're saying. We were on, and there's a bunch of explosions going off behind us. Nobody knows what's going on. We do not.
Wait,
let me finish my film. I have no clue what's going on.
According to early reports, Israel wanted the United States to believe the attacks were carried out by United Arab Nations. U.S. forces launched a counteroffensive and managed to destroy the attacking forces. CNN's Jacob Wagner is outside the U.S. cabinet with what the U.S. plans to do next.
I'm Jacob Wagner here with CNN Special Report, and I'm with the U.S. Press Secretary. Could you please give us information on the current situation?
All right, well, the United States is going to move into Tel Aviv. Right now, the Israeli government and the Israeli army have no defenses of the city. After an early standoff with the Israeli Navy crippled, the United States is not invading Israel, nor is the United States at war with Israel.
The Egyptians are also taking action to stop Israeli aggression and potentially reach a just resolution. The Egyptians, supported by Arab nations, are striking with force in the city of Jerusalem. The Israeli Prime Minister is disappointed in the lack of foreign support, especially from nations like the United States. However, the U.S. maintains that they cannot intervene in two international conflicts at the same time. Despite lacking foreign aid, Israel is confident in the survival of its nation. During a recent press conference, tempers flared when the Israeli Prime Minister expelled all foreign representatives from the meeting. An enraged Nasser reacted fervently.
This is just like the state of Israel. They always remove the Arab voice from the political discussion and the political discourse in the international world. Always! Like the Zionist Republic!
Announced France as an instigator of war. French diplomats started an alliance with Soviet and Arab nations, presumably to create war with Israel. The USSR calls the French actions a horrible idea. The situation worsened when a French ship was recently destroyed off the coast of Gaza. The official cause remains unknown. Representatives from the United Arab Republic believe the ship contained weapons intended for Israeli targets. I'm Jordan McBride, and this has been your evening news. We're coming to you live with breaking news. After the assault on the USS Liberty, the United States has sent 20,000 peacemaking Marines to Tel Aviv with the orders not to fire unless fired upon, in an effort to halt the fighting between the United Arab Republic and Israel. Intel reports that the UAR initiated negotiations for a ceasefire, and after much deliberation, Israel accepted and proposed a peace summit, which will be held just outside Ashdod, the site of some of the fiercest fighting during the conflict. Jerusalem is now under full Jordanian control. Please stay tuned for further developments.